I'm making Divinity, and what you'll need is 2½ cups of sugar, a ½ cup of water, a ½ cup of Karo syrup or light corn syrup, 2 egg whites, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Also, I've got some pecans because I want to put that in the top of my Divinity as it sets up. And let's see. Oh, and you need a candy thermometer when you're making Divinity. You can find them at most anywhere. Walmart, Target, Kmart, your grocery store. They're fairly inexpensive, but you need one of those because we have to let it cook to a hard ball stage, or 260 degrees. Alright, and when you make Divinity, you pretty much usually have to use a handheld mixer, and you need a glass bowl. If your egg whites won't form up right, they won't get stiff in an aluminum or a plastic bowl, so you need to use a glass bowl. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add the 2½ cups of sugar. Okay, in my non-stick, good heavy saucepan, I've got 2½ cups of sugar. I'm going to add a ½ cup of water, and I'm going to add a ½ cup of my light corn syrup. Anytime you're measuring liquids, you need to use a liquid measuring cup, because they are just a little bit different than your dry ingredients, the cup measurement. Alright, put that in there. Better give me a spoon so I can scrape the sides. And get all that in there that I can. Alright. And let's see. Okay, we want to put our salt in there too. That was 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to put this on the stove, and I'm going to put it on about a medium heat, and we're going to stir it until the sugar dissolves. Alright, this is what the syrup and the water, as you see, you can see that sugar in there. So we're going to turn on our heat, and we're going to stir it until that dissolves. Now is a good time to add your candy thermometer in here as well. And when you want to be careful that it's not touching the bottom of the pan, so you want it to hang there on the side, and you want to make sure that you can get your spoon underneath there, that it's not resting on the bottom, because otherwise it'll give you a false reading. Alright, okay, now we're going to stir. Get rid of that sugar. Still stirring. See, you can tell that the sugar is starting to dissolve as it warms up. The thing about Divinity is you pretty much need everything out that you're going to need, because you have to move fairly quickly because it sets up pretty fast. This is pretty much a no-fault recipe. My boss gave it to me years ago, and she said it was, you know, pretty much anybody could make it, and I didn't believe her, but it's true. It's really easy, and if it doesn't turn out perfect, that's alright, it still tastes good. Alright. See, it's getting clearer. It's taking about 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and then we'll let this do its bubble and cook stage. And like I said, we want it to get to the 260 degrees, which is the hard ball stage. I'm going to stir it for about another minute, so I want to make sure all my sugar's dissolved. Alright, it's been about 4 minutes, and I think that the sugar is all dissolved. So now I'm just going to let this continue to do its cooking, do its own thing. And while this cooks, we're going to beat our egg whites. Alright, now I'm ready to get my egg whites. I'm going to beat them until some steep peaks appear. Uh-oh. Better get that shell out of there. Switch this around here. Oh. The me get that yolk out of there. Alright, with my hand mixer, I'm going to turn it up to high, and I'm going to start beating my egg whites to form the peak. This will probably take about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, when I pull my beater up, the stiff peaks form. So it's ready. I've turned up my heat under my sugar mixture over here because it's not quite at the soft ball or hard ball stage yet. Won't be too much longer. Okay, and we want to add a teaspoon of vanilla to this mixture. We're going to beat that in. Alright, the sugar mixture is at a hard ball stage, so I've removed it from the heat, and we're going to slowly add it to the egg whites, and we're going to blend it in and mix it. Now this is real glossy, and we're going to beat it for about 5 minutes until it starts to lose that gloss. It looks like white glossy paint, and we want it to be more of a dull eggshell. Alright, with my hand mixer, I'm going to turn it up to high, and I'm going to start beating my egg whites to form the peak. This will probably take about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, when I pull my beater up, the stiff peaks form. So it's ready. I've turned up my heat under my sugar mixture over here because it's not quite at the soft ball or hard ball stage yet. Won't be too much longer. Okay, and we want to add a teaspoon of vanilla to this mixture. We're going to beat that in.